With winter finally loosening its grip on Yuanshen Stadium, men and women clutching bows and arrows have come back outdoors to shoot in Shanghai. China playing host to the World Cup for the 6th year in a row. More than 300 elite archers coming here from more than 40 countries to kick off the new season. While there are some new faces in this crowd, some familiar ones are missing. South Korea's Oh Jin-yek did not make the trip to Shanghai, while his teammates Kibo Bae and Yuno Ki failed to qualify for South Korea's women's squad. And Deepika Kumari is not on India's travel roster for China, as she failed to qualify for her nation's team. Of course, as usual, there were some early round upsets, but as usual, we've also seen some notable performances. In compound, the remarkable Sarah Lopez tied her own world record, and the American teams took home a pair of gold medals. Now, though, it's time to yield the spotlight. It's Recurve Sunday in Shanghai, with a bounty of gold up for grabs in the financial capital of the Far East. World Archery's outdoor season is taking flight as the action shifts from Yuanshen Stadium to the River Boulevard. Wherever you happen to be watching, ni hao, bonjour, hola, merhaba, konnichiwa, privyet, shalom, guten tag, dzień dobry, buongiorno, good day, mates, and welcome to the first of 4 stops on the Outdoor World Cup Tour that stretches from spring through summer and into autumn, with the World Cup finals this September in Lausanne. Along with the Canadian compound archer, Hugh McDonald, I'm Carl Arkey. Welcome to the banks of China's Huangpu River, our scenic venue for this weekend's competition. The weather, Hugh, improving, and the match is shaping up to be, I think, intriguing.
Looks to be a very, very good day out there. There's a little bit of wind coming in. I hear it's headwind quartering in a little bit to the right. So it should make just enough of a difference to make the matches quite interesting. I think we're in for just a fantastic roster of matches this afternoon.
I think so. There's some really intriguing matchups, and we'll go through them as the day progresses. We'll start off with mixed team competition, then get into the individual matches. And just to bring you folks up to speed who may not have been with us a few hours ago, the team competition is already completed, and in women's team competition, China took the gold, Colombia the silver, Japan the bronze. Meanwhile, in the men's competition, as far as the teams are concerned, it was the Netherlands getting the bronze medal, Japan the gold, and Australia the silver. So now you're all caught up as we get set for the mixed team bronze medal match to start this afternoon, at least this afternoon here in Shanghai. And it's going to be Great Britain taking on Chinese Taipei. Great Britain seated 14th.
Chinese Taipei were 13th in the ranking.
Great Britain reaching this point with a 5-4 win over Spain, then knocking off Ukraine 6-2, then lost a tie-breaking shoot-off with the USA. Naomi Folkard, 30 years old, teaming up with the 37-year-old Larry Gottfried. So 2 very veteran archers.
Absolutely, lots of experience there. On paper, this is going to be a fantastic match.
Chinese Taipei, as Hugh mentioned, seated 13th. They had a good week as well here in Shanghai. A 5-3 win over Colombia. Came away as the victor in the same score against Germany and lost by the very same score to Mexico. Peng Shicheng, 19 years old, teaming up with Yuan Shuqi, 29 years old. So we're just about set to go here. And while we've got a moment, Hugh, why don't you tell them how the game is played?
All right, this is the Recurve mixed team event. It's the first time it's run with set play at the World Cup level. It will be a race to 5 points. You either get 2 points if you outscore your opponent in a given set, 1 point if the 2 teams tie, or 0 points if your opponent outscores you.
So it's a race to 5.
4 sets is the end of regulation.
And we could go to a shoot-off. It could happen.
Quite easily, especially if those flags are any indicator and the wind has just dropped right off.
Did not have a shoot-off in the team competition this morning here in Shanghai, as Naomi Folkard starts off with an 8. So now Larry Gottfried shooting from the left side.
He has buckets of experience. He would be at, he was definitely in the London Olympics 2012. Doesn't look like that was a great shot, but he got away with it.
He was effective. Could be a 10. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, there's a lot of angle on that. I think it's a 9.
So now Chinese Taipei.
That's a nice shot.
And a 9 for Yuan Shuqi. Peng Shicheng, 19 years old, unranked.
An 8. So we're tied up early in the early going, but the set is only half over. Yeah, this should be an absolutely fantastic match. I looked over the ranking and the set scores. They were ranked 13th and 14th. The set scores through the eliminations to get to this point have been very, very nearly equal. Nice 10.
Naomi nailing that shot. Naomi 17th at the London Olympics.
So this is a pair of British Olympians here. There's a nice...
Sticks it.
Yeah, that would be even an X if they were counting. Which is that little gray faded circle right in the center. It's a slightly smaller ring that you just want to hit. Doesn't get you any more points.
Bottom line is that it's a 10.
It's a 10. Oh, there's another nice X.
There's another nice one, yes. Yuan Shuqi, who won a team's bronze medal in Shanghai back in 2010 when this was actually the 4th stage on the World Cup circuit.
Shooting very, very quickly. Ooh, that's a 7, I think.
So a tough way to end that first set.
But here's the advantage of set points. So Larry and Naomi now have 2 set points at the end of that. But now we start back at 0, and the Chinese Taipei archers are not that far behind. They're 2 set points behind, but it's easy to come back from that. It's not like it's a cumulative score where they would be behind by at least 3.
Interesting time for archery in all sports, I guess, when you really look at this, Hugh. I mean, it's 2 years out from London and 2 years out from Rio. We're sort of in that middle ground area right now, and I know teams will be ramping up as we get closer to Rio, but people still want to kind of stay in that groove, and they want to keep improving and building and growing.
This is an absolutely perfect time to be bringing in new team members and to start to generate.
See what you've got.
Absolutely. To work out some of the younger archers and get them some international experience at a high level. But it's also a really great time for the more experienced archers to be working with their form, to be doing some experimentation, trying out different orders in team round, trying out different combinations, trying out a little bit of different form things here and there, just to see if they can get a little bit better, because they have the time to go back if they have to. And being able to practice these things at this level is ideal. So making these matches to get to the gold or bronze medal matches where we are right now, it's a fantastic acid test, a litmus test, if you will.
That's a good way to put it. The Archery World Cup Tour, getting archers ready for Olympic competition and World Championships as well. Chinese Taipei trailing by 2, starts off with a 9. Yuan Shuqi.
They shot very, very quickly in the first set, which is a great advantage, especially if there's a wind to deal with.
Mr. Peng.
Nice 9. That took them less than 15 seconds an arrow.
So they should have plenty of time. Now Naomi.
Very deliberate setup.
An experienced Olympian, having competed in Athens as well as Beijing and London. High and to the right.
And she actually does a slightly rare thing among the top shooters, as far as I am concerned. I'm not certain. I haven't done an official poll on this.
I haven't taken a survey yet.
But she closes her non-dominant eye, and that's not super common. Or it's quite possible that she closes her other eye because she's shooting against her dominant eye. Nice X from Larry there. So far we're tied up in this set.
I think Larry had eyes wide open that time. So an 8 and a 10 for Great Britain. And as Hugh McDonald mentioned, we're tied at 18.
And if you see, she's got both eyes wide open. Nice 10. Solid shooting from Yuan.
The team from Chinese Taipei picking up their game.
I like his draw. It's really quick, straight to the anchor.
Tad off course with that shot.
Kind of wish he was getting slightly better results, but there's an awful lot to like about how he's shooting.
So let's look for what Hugh was just talking about a moment ago.
So she closes her left eye.
Inside the line for a 9.
Really nice shot.
You can see the water seeping through the paper targets. It's pretty moist here.
Oh yes, it has been soggy in Shanghai all weekend long. I think everybody's waterlogged. But they have shot well.
Ooh, that was close to the clock. There's only 2 seconds left. Where is it?
That's what I'm wondering as well.
I didn't see that.
And neither Naomi or Larry look pleased right now.
Given that, I'm going to guess that the Chinese Taipei won that.
We'll see if we can locate that arrow.
I'm pretty sure it hit a target. It sounded like it hit a target. So
Well,
36
yesterday we
points
saw
there.
somebody shoot at the wrong target.
Oh, they split.
Oh, they split. Is that what it was?
Yes, so that means that Larry shot, looks like a 9.
So they'll split the set points.
Yep. Yep, so Larry got a 9. It was very well hidden.
So a 3-1 lead.
So if Britain wins this set outright, they win the match.
And the bronze.
Yes. Chinese Taipei now needs to win to stay alive.
Strong shoot, you guys look
Well,
good.
they can split it if they want, but winning is by far the better option.
Yuan Shuqi. Just outside the 10 ring.
Good result. She was walking a little bit early, I would say. Not quite enough to the finish of the shot. They have so much time. They could take the extra quarter of a second to just really finish the shot. Oh, this is a little bit
Peng
longer.
Shicheng holding longer, yes.
I wonder if his nerves are getting to him just a little bit.
He's been wide left, he's been wide right.
The group's just a little bit opened, and that's generally an indicator of just a slightly tense archer. All he has to do is relax, and the whole group will just tighten up, and he's nicely centered, and it would just fall into the 10 ring. Good night.
Naomi with a 9. And now here's Larry, who won a silver medal at stage 3 in Ogden, Utah back in 2012.
Oh,
Both in the 9 ring.
no guesses about what that score is. Shot it through the hoop of the 9.
He actually nailed the 9.
Exactly.
Yes. There's shooting a 9, and then there's nailing the 9. Ms. Yuan,
Nice quick shot, another 9.
the more experienced archer in this pair.
And you know an experienced archer when you shoot a solid 9 in a team round and you're unhappy. Nice and quick. Good 9.
Good shot. Peng Shicheng with the 9 as well. His only previous international competition came 4 years ago, the Asian Grand Prix in Thailand. So this is a big stage for him to be on.
Pair of 9s wins it for the Brits.
Grimacing
Ooh,
as
dear.
she released, and you can see why.
All right, so 10 from Larry and the Brits win it. Still winnable, but it takes that slightly better shot. He's composed. He's been in this position before.
For the
shot.
win,
There's
and he
the
got
10.
it. Larry Godfrey high fives with Naomi Fulcard as the pair from Great Britain come away with the victory. And they do it in quick order. Took only 3 sets.
Yeah, that's the minimum number of sets to win.
You get a kiss for that one, too.
Lloyd giving Larry a kiss there.
So Larry Godfrey celebrating along with Naomi Fulcard as they get the afternoon started with a strong performance, winning 5-1.
That's good to see. Those guys have been around for quite some time, working hard all the time. It's nice to see them getting a good result.
So a bronze medal goes to Great Britain, and great experience for the team from Chinese Taipei. Last year here, it was Korea taking the bronze medal as Shanghai Zhen and Oh Jin-yek teamed up to defeat Aida Roman and Juan Rene Serrano, whom we are about to see in the next match.
As the Mexicans have upgraded and the Koreans didn't show up.
As we said, we're 2 years out from Rio.
Yep.
2 years out from London.
The Korean strategy has always been a bit of a mystery to me. I never know, when I say they didn't show up, I don't mean that they came here and performed poorly. I mean, they're not here.
They're not here. No, they're not here. Their compound team was here.
And they did very well.
Yes, they were a major factor. So now we get set. We'll reset. Push the reset button. Congratulate once again the team from Great Britain, Naomi Folkard and Larry Gottfried, on their bronze medal victory as we get set now for the mixed team gold medal match. And this is one of the ones I've been really looking forward to all weekend long. This is number 1 seeded Mexico taking on the 7th seeded team from the United States. Mexico, Aida Roman and Juan Rene Serrano. This week they shut out the Aussies. They beat Korea by 2, and they beat China in the semifinals. So there you go. A very powerful duo right there. Very experienced, very talented. They have their teammates in the stands cheering them on.
And I believe Ada has a silver medal from the Olympics.
Yes.
And
yes.
Juan Rene
almost won the
was
gold medal.
4th.
Yes.
So that's a solid team over there.
Pretty solid team for the United States, which defeated France, then the Russian Federation, and then Great Britain in a shoot-off. Mackenzie Brown on the left, and of course that's Brady Ellison on the right. Mackenzie Brown, 19 years old, teaming up with Brady Ellison, who has been here before. Let's just put it that way.
Yep. So each of the matches has a 19-year-old newcomer in this. That makes it interesting. I'm very interested to watch the Mexicans shoot. I remember watching them shoot that match against the Koreans last year, and Aida looked tense. This year, at this event, she has absolutely dominated the field. I expect her to come out ready to play.
In fact, I noticed her mental mindset in France and Nîmes. She seemed to be so strong. She was in that bubble, but she was focused. And I was really impressed with the way she carried herself and carried herself to a gold medal in Nîmes.
I'm looking to see smoother shots from her in this mixed team event than we saw last year. Already it looks better. Yep.
Ocho.
There is a bit of a difference from the practice range to the target range, so sometimes you need to have that windsock arrow to find out where the middle is. Hopefully that's what that was.
Juan Rene, 30 years old.
Recently married.
In the 7 circle right there.
That is not what you expect from Juan Rene. Yes, at the Vegas event at the World Cup Finals, I believe he got married just afterwards. So congratulations to him.
Good shot.
Oh, wrong target.
There we go.
330. Good job.
There's the target for the United States. On the line for a 9 for Mackenzie Brown, who is coming off a victory at the Arizona Cup.
Yes. I absolutely love her name. It's one of the best names in archery in my opinion.
Right there. Top of it.
And there's one of the biggest names in archery right there. Brady Ellison with a 10.
But I love to see how relaxed Brady is. He's just having a chat with her up on the line, burning a couple of seconds, asking where she's aimed so that he knows how to put that arrow in the middle. That's a good call. Good strategic call right there. 9.
Good look in the eye of Aida Roman, who almost won that gold medal in London, settled for silver. Kibo Bay winning the gold. And we've got to get into that too. Kibo Bay's not here.
Nope.
Yuno Kia's not here. Oh Jin-yek not here.
Nice.
But Juan Rene certainly is.
That helps out after the 7.
That first shot, he was just feeling things out.
Again, I say there is a difference between the main target range and the practice range. There might be a slightly different wind coming off the water. It's a little bit more open. It's 180 degrees different. That did not look like a good shot.
7. Sorry. Good shot.
All right, so Brady needs a 9 or better to win this set. I think he can pull that off.
Fully capable. Brady Ellison, ranked 8th in the world right now, was number 1 in the world a year ago.
Okay.
There's a 9. It's enough for the set.
So Brady Ellison coming through to win the set and give the Americans a 2-0 lead to start off this gold medal match with Mexico. Interesting to note, the last time that Brady Ellison won the Arizona Cup was 2012. He went on to win the gold medal at stage 1 in Shanghai. He won the Arizona Cup this year. So we'll find out if that's true to form or not.
He might win the gold medal in the mixed team, but I don't believe he's in the gold medal match.
No, not in the gold medal match.
But yes,
but he may win gold.
He very well. It never hurts. Doesn't matter how you win it, what event you're in. You want a
They
gold
all
medal.
feel good.
Yeah, absolutely.
They all feel good. And Brady Ellison feeling much better. A year ago, injured his hand, and that kind of hampered him early in the World Cup campaign. But he was able to get the ship righted, qualified for the World Cup final, and came away as the bronze medalist in Paris. So it turned out to be a pretty good season for Brady Ellison. Turning out to be a nice afternoon here in Shanghai. As
a good visual there, a little bit misty, a little bit cloudy, but not bad.
The yachts cruising up and down the Huangpu River. Roman with a 9. Aida, the winner of the first Olympic archery medal in Mexico's history.
There's another 9.
Pair of 9s, Juan Rene.
So that's solid shooting. That'll put some pressure onto the unknown Mackenzie. But she's got such a solid, one of her great advantages. She's a great shooter. Don't get me wrong. But she's backed by Brady Ellison, which is one of the most solid shooters the Americans have put out in a bunch of years. So it's nice to have
that gives you some comfort, doesn't it?
For sure.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit of insurance in your back pocket because you can rely on Brady to shoot really, really solid shots. And just allows you to relax a little bit. Having said that,
it happens to the best of them, which makes, I think, this sport so interesting.
And sometimes you can shoot an absolutely gorgeous feeling, gorgeous looking shot that just goes AWOL. And there's
one.
Something has changed. Last 2 arrows have been a good distance out to the right.
Perhaps the wind is shifting.
It's on the meter on the screen there, it had just jumped up almost 2 meters per second and still quartering right. He's into a dead headwind, but fairly stiff.
So a bit of a guessing game going on, guessing where that wind is coming from, where it's going, where it's going to blow your arrow, and Juan Rene is able to figure it out that time.
Yep, right there.
Beautiful shot
there. Yep. The U.S. can breathe a bit of a sigh there, sigh of relief. The Mexicans gave them a little bit of room to work with, and I think they're going to take it.
And they do.
9, that's good enough.
So Brady Ellison with a big hand from Mackenzie Brown, able to take the second set as well, and what appeared to be a really close matchup on paper isn't close thus far, as the United States now has a 4-0 lead over Mexico. And Aida Roman along with Juan Rene Serrano trying to figure out what adjustments need to be made right now for the United States. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And it still is a close match. I believe the Americans have just edged out the Mexicans by 1 point each set. So it's 4 set points to 0, but each set is only 1 point.
Has been close.
Yeah.
So we shall see what we shall see as we head towards the 3rd set.
Here comes the opportunity for the Americans to close it out.
Leading 4-0. And if they split this set, that 1 point will be enough for the United States to wrap it up and capture the gold medal. Of course, last year here in Shanghai, it was Brady teaming up, I should say, with Katuna Loreg to defeat India's Deepika Kumari and Jayanta Talukdar for the gold medal. So Brady going for his 2nd straight mixed team gold medal here at stage 1.
That's a good deal.
Come to China, get some gold.
Good 9 from Aida.
Mexico trying to fight back.
200 kilometers an hour, that's a quick arrow. Eight.
Just outside that line.
They're being generous with the asterisks here, because I thought that was pretty clearly out.
Here's Mackenzie, who defeated Alejandra Valencia of Mexico in the gold medal match at the Arizona Cup, and she continues to fire away.
I guess we know what she's going to do with the pressure. She's going to say, thank you very much. I'll take that and run with it.
Yep.
Nice smooth shot from Brady.
That's okay, Mac. Brady's not as heavy as he thinks he is. You can carry him, I'm pretty sure.
So I believe that's Mel Nichols commenting about how Mackenzie is carrying Brady in this match.
Yeah, Brady's leaning on her. Nice shot by Aida.
Still not as tight a group as these two are capable of. These are some really strong shooters.
Really need a 10 right here.
Ooh, that I think will seal it.
Disappointment etched across the faces of Aida Roman and Juan Rene Serrano, as they know it's out of their hands now and in the hands of Mackenzie Brown and Brady Ellison.
Looked like a great shot. It was an 8.
Nice, strong shot, Brady.
But Brady only needs a 6 to tie. So a 6 for the victory, I believe. Oh, it was 7, sorry.
7 would tie it. They'd split the points and the U.S. would win. Instead, Brady says, forget about 7s, forget about 8s, forget about 9s. I'm going for the centering. And no doubt about it, taking the suspense out of this thing as the Americans sweep Mexico in the mixed team gold medal match and doing it in convincing fashion.
Brady opens with a 10 and closes with a 10.
And Mackenzie Brown certainly, well, she did more than hold her own.
Absolutely. What's that?
Hey, guys.
Yeah, she dropped 7 points total and Brady dropped 5. So it was pretty even between the two.
So a promising young female recurve archer for the United States, Mackenzie Brown. She gets the mixed team gold medal here at stage 1 in Shanghai to go along with the gold medal that she won at the Arizona Cup on a windy field outside Phoenix, Arizona last month. Now she comes to China, teams up with Brady, and takes home the gold medal.
Two of them are having a good start to the season, that's what I'd say.
It is a good way to get the season started, making that transition outdoors. And we will see various venues. Of course, it'll be interesting to see where we set up in Medellin, Colombia. It was a wind tunnel down there last year and made for some interesting shooting, obviously, in Colombia.
I think that won't happen again. I think they learned.
We'll see where the location is for the playing field when we get back down to Medellin. By the way, that's a good look at the Oriental Pearl Tower here in Shanghai.
From an entirely selfish point of view, we're hoping from Canada to have a little bit less snow. I was talking with my teammate Jay Lyon the other day. I think it was 2 days ago, and somebody had sent him a picture. It was snowing in Winnipeg.
Go figure.
Yes. So he's waiting for summer to start.
It's warmed up here. It's just raining. Liquid sunshine here in Shanghai, where everybody's looking up at the sights. And there are many to see, including here on the field of play as we get set for the individual matches right now. And things change a little bit. Still the set system, but you've got to score 6 points to win these matches.
That's right.
5 won't get it done. You got to have 6 as we get set for individual play right now. The women's bronze medal match. And getting set to take the field, Aida Roman will be back momentarily. She'll have a quick turnaround as she will face Kato Ayano of Japan, who was out earlier today in the women's competition. In fact, picked up a bronze medal with the Japanese women's team as they defeated North Korea 6-2. So she already has one medal in her pocket. Now she's going for her second bronze medal of the day. Kato Ayano, a 6-4 winner this week over Denmark's Maja Jaeger. That's impressive. Then came up short against Germany's Elena Richter, who is in the finals, which we will see momentarily. And she'll be taking on Aida Roman, whom we just watched in the mixed team gold medal match. She turns right back around, comes right back out, and gets set for battle. Has to put the last match out of her mind and focus on this one. She focused this week as she knocked off Ukraine's Anastasia Pavlova 6-2, and then dropped a 6-4 decision to Zhu Jing of China. So a good look at Aida Roman, 15-8 in match play last season.
And she should have very good information about what this field is doing on that target. She was just there.
She's on the same target, yeah.
Just there 2-3 minutes ago. So she knows what the winds are doing. She knows exactly where the middle is. She's nicely warmed up. She's competition ready. And she's been dominating this week. I think a huge edge has to go to Ada in this match. She's also, so just from the ranking round, Kato Ayano was ranked 31st compared to Aida's first in the ranking round. So
seeded first, yes.
Yeah, there's and Aida's first two matches, which you didn't mention, she won them both 6-0. So she's been just absolutely on a roll. A little bit of a stumble against the Chinese woman.
But in good form to start this match. Now Kato Ayano, 21 years old and ranked 26th in the world.
A little bit high. Both of them were a little bit high on that arrow.
I believe the Japanese team shot at target number 1 this morning. So now she has moved over a little bit, and Aida Roman has moved up outside the yellow circles. Opportunity for Ms. Kato.
Oh, a little bit of twitching on her mouth. That's interesting. Nice fast action off the string though. That string hand comes off with great power, great direction. Oh, there we are, back in the middle.
So 2 9s and an 8, 26 points. So Kato needs a 10
to split. It's a 9.
Close, but not close enough. So the first set will go to Aida Roman of Mexico, who is ranked 6th in the world. Busy lady. She has been busy here this afternoon.
Busy's a good way to be. There's Juan Renee bringing in her backup bow, just in case.
Just in case. We saw it. It was a painful lesson yesterday, watching in the compound competition as Sarah Lopez had all sorts of problems with her equipment in that women's gold medal match, and shot 3 straight misses to start that match, and finally got the backup bow and got things straightened out.
It's kind of one of those times you wish you had a do-over. But so that's one of the important things.
There are no mulligans, are there?
Absolutely not. And in match play, there is no equipment failure time. So in a regular ranking round, if a part of your bow breaks, you have up to 15 minutes to repair it. In a match play, if part of your bow breaks, you need to have another bow that you can just pick up and start shooting.
And that bow has to be set up just the same as the bow that you're using.
As close as you can get it.
Ms. Kato shooting first, trailing in the match. Posts a 9.
And that is what
Aida.
That is the standard operating procedure. The archer with the lower number of cumulative set points will lead out. If they are tied, it will go back to the original shooting order. Another good 9. That's a great shot. Nice tap.
That is a great shot. The camera angle and the shot itself.
Exactly. I was going to mention how her bow hand just sits in that grip nicely and relaxed. Just guiding the bow. Not directing it so much, but just guiding it straight towards the target.
Don't know if you noticed this, but during Kato's shot, Aida Roman closed her eyes, stayed within herself, didn't watch her opponent, just focused on what she's doing. And she's doing quite well here in this set and in this match. So Aida Roman focused in, dialed in, trying to pick up the bronze medal here in women's individual competition. Facing her competitor from Japan, Kato Ayano, 21 years old, not nearly as experienced. Did come in 7th this year at the Asian Grand Prix, but this is a whole nother level, I would think.
It certainly is. This is a terrific place to gain experience, and the only way to get the experience is to be here. So,
and that includes making mistakes.
for sure. I don't think she's made any mistakes yet. She's shooting fine. She's getting outshot.
And that is an interesting distinction. You can shoot well and still not win.
Absolutely. It happens quite regularly. It's disappointing for the archer who doesn't win, but it's the way the game works. It's a sport.
Have to keep it in perspective.
Yeah. Good 10, there we are.
Great shot.
Yeah, she's only, each of the first 2 sets, she only lost by 1 point. She's really being quite competitive. She's making Ada work for this. Put a good amount of pressure by that 10.
So advantage Kato here in this 3rd set. Early advantage.
She's a little bit under the gun. She needs to at least split to extend this match. Ooh.
Not what she had in mind.
think
Close to
that's an
that
8.
line. Yep. They'll post an 8.
Wow, they give that a solid 8. Okay.
I think it bears further inspection, don't you?
I was pretty close, and from my perspective, and there's a 9. So now we're tied up. Kato would really like to have a 10 on this arrow. The trick with this is to not try to shoot a 10. All she has to do is try to shoot a good shot. If she executes her normal good shot, it'll be a 10. There it
Yes.
is.
Just on the line. Big smile.
Wow,
So the young lady who won a team bronze medal at stage 2 Antalya last year, now holding her breath.
well, odds are she's extended this. Because the best Ada can do is,
Ooh.
oh my goodness.
Kill the spider. That's what she can do.
Indeed. But I still believe it's a split set, which I believe means that they're still playing.
Well done.
But that was a brilliant dead center X right there.
And remember, folks, this is from 70 meters away.
And that cross is tiny. It's
Oh,
maybe a millimeter on a leg, maybe 2.
through the sight, how much can you see of that?
Of what are you talking
The
about?
spider
Oh, you don't see it all.
at all.
No, it's far too small.
Now look at this. What do you think, Hugh?
I think that's an 8. But they are looking at it.
Very, very, very closely.
Well, and very important. So I'm sure Mexico asked for that judge call. Actually, I think if I misspoke there. The judges actually make the calls right off the bat. Oh, there's a correction going on.
So the decision has not been made official, has not been rendered just yet.
So we should be able to see there should be a hand signal. If somebody has won, there should be a hand signal indicating it will be Aida. And it should indicate the target 1 is the victor. Looks like they're, yep, they are continuing.
They are continuing. You can see the fist being pumped.
So that's 1 set point apiece. They did get that 8.
Wow, how close, how close.
I was really surprised that they didn't give that 8 a star. But now the pressure ratchets up that next notch for Ms. Kato.
There's no splitting of sets from here on out.
Nope.
For Ms. Kato, she has to win.
She has to win the next 2 to force a shoot-off.
Right.
So her best option is a shoot-off at this point.
But she's got a long way to go to get there. has to win these next 2 sets.
Yeah.
And that will not aid her cause.
Well, if we had instant replay, I could probably show what was going on. If you watched the clicker come down her arrow there, to me it looked like it went back a little bit. She collapsed just a tiny little bit before she let go.
And it made a big difference.
At 70 meters, it's millimeters of difference.
Advantage Roman, who goes back into her trance-like state as Kato lines up her second shot.
And she'll be working through her mental plan, making sure that she's rehearsing shooting this next arrow right on that spider. There's a good 9. Now that she's rehearsed shooting the X in her mind, now it's time to execute. I like the Mexican colors on her fingers. That's fantastic. And a good 9.
You got an eye for detail. So does Aida Roman, who goes back into her trance as Kato pulls the string back.
Yeah, it's a good mental game. Keeps all of the distractions out, keeps you within yourself. There's a 7. And that sews up the bronze medal.
There it is. Roman puts it away with 3 solid shots here in the 4th set. And though Kato Ayano was able to prolong this match, it only prolonged the inevitable, I suppose you could say, as Aida Roman picks up the bronze medal.
This was very much Aida's match to lose, and she won it, so good for her. I think Kato can be pleased with staying competitive and getting some points. I think that's a moral victory if that's the only victory she can get out of the day. I think she executed fairly well. By and large, I think it was a good match for her. But Aida was the superior in skill, and she was just on a huge roll this week. It would have been a major upset had she not won this match.
I've got a feeling, will be a major factor here on the World Cup campaign this summer in 2014. As the ships continue to sail by the River Boulevard in Shanghai on what has turned out to be a very nice, pleasant afternoon. Good crowd on hand, great support from the community here coming out. The crowds seem to get better and better each year here.
They do. We've had the fortune to find a little archery range near the hotels, and we've gone in there a couple of times, and they're working the place. They're providing some of the volunteers for this venue, so they're getting the word out, and I think that's how some of the crowd is showing up.
Well, it's terrific to see it here on Recurve Sunday in Shanghai. The rains have stopped. And they're in the front row.
Binoculars.
Yeah, isn't that the world famous Crispin Duenas?
That is Crispin
Yes,
Duenas.
it is. You know, he won a bronze medal at the World Championships last year in Belek.
He did. Yeah.
And that's why he got that front row seat. He must be in the front row.
He knows somebody.
He knows somebody. We know Elena Richter. Elena Richter, 24 years old, from Germany. She won her quarterfinal match in a shoot-off. No need for that in the semifinals, though. She came up with a 7-3 win over Ayano Kato of Japan. And here is Zhu Jing, seated 4th. And she will be battling Elena Richter for that gold medal. The big crowd, the partisan crowd, the hometown crowd rooting her on. Zhu Jing, she vanquished her teammate Fang Yuting 6-2 this week, then held off Aida Roman 6-4 in a 5-set match, then won the 5th and deciding set of her semifinals by 1 point to get into this gold medal match. So Zhu Jing on target number 1, Elena Richter on target number 2.
My impression, having looked at the sets and that sort of idea from their matches from this week and the ranking rounds, I would put Zhu Jing a slight advantage, but that may actually work out to be Elena's advantage in the long run. I think it makes her a slight underdog, which means the pressure's just that little bit off, and she doesn't have the hometown crowd, which can either be a boon or a bust. A 6 is not a good way to start your match, though.
Not what she had in mind when she walked out here today. Zhu Jing, by the way, has been out on this playing field already. Was a member of the Chinese team that won the gold medal this morning, and she gets a big roar from the crowd as she finds the 10 ring.
Yep. Calmly just shooting 10s. That's the way to do it.
So Richter trying to rebound from the 6 on her first shot.
She's in a very, very good place. Great opportunity for her. If she takes it with that 6 to the 9-10, it makes it very unlikely that you're going to win that set, so you can really relax, you can really work on your form, you can use that opportunity to try to find the middle.
And the key is not to get too rattled by this first set.
Absolutely not. It's set play, so she's going to be down 2 points. She's already lost this set. This is a free arrow just to reset, get started again, find the middle. Great shot, nowhere to be seen. 5.
So kind of all over the map on those first 3 shots for Elena Richter of Germany. Of course, last year here in Shanghai, it was Yuno Ki of Korea taking the gold medal as she defeated Deepika Kumari of India. Neither of those ladies are here this week. Ki Bobe not here either. And that tells you something about the level of competition in those nations on those squads, because those 3 ladies failed to qualify for this stage 1 in Shanghai.
Yeah, there's a lot of competition, certainly in Korea. I'm not sure how deep the competition in India goes, or whether she just had a bad day.
She is recovering. Deepika is recovering from a wrist injury, but she was defeated in the qualification rounds, and they hope to see her back here on the World Cup circuit later this summer, but not here this week.
Nope, and that changes. When people of that caliber aren't here, it does change the complexion of the event.
Provides opportunities for Elena Richter and Zhu Jing.
I'm really surprised by that first set from Elena.
That's a little bit more like Elena Richter.
It's certainly a better shot.
What do you think? On the line, did it catch it?
That one's tight. My gut says that's an 8.
The judges will let us know if your gut is right.
They don't have a star beside it. They're fairly confident.
So right now we're even in 9. Second shot coming up for Richter, who's still looking for her first World Cup medal.
Oh, there we are.
Ooh, and finds the 10 ring.
This is more of what I was expecting. I was really surprised by that first set. I'm not sure what happened. It might have just been nerves. It might have been the first arrow. Something went wrong and she over-adjusted the sight. Oh, dear me. That's a 6. It's miles out.
Advantage Richter.
Game is back on. I'm curious to know what's going on. Those are big misses. You wouldn't expect these women to be realistically outside the 8 ring, so that locks it down for Elena Richter. She has won this set, so now it's 2-2, and we have a free shot for Zhu Jing.
So this is an academic point right here, and Zhu Jing with an 8, but that was out of reach already.
Even with the 8-star 9, Elena had 26 points.
And only 23 points for Zhu Jing in that set. As the winds begin to pick up along the River Boulevard. And Elena Richter deep in thought right now. Tied up at 2-all. And the women's gold medal match. If you're just joining us in the mixed team competition, the USA came away with the gold, Mexico the silver, and Great Britain the bronze. So far,
I think they've reduced that down to a 9, or sorry, down to an 8, that first arrow. It's a little hard to see. No, they've given it a 9. It is a 9.
Officially is a 9.
Okay. They have cameras on a slightly different angle from what we're seeing here, so they will see something slightly different from what we get. That was a very close call, though. It is two set points apiece, which means we revert to the original shooting order, which I believe is Zhu Jing shooting first.
Her coach anxiously watching. So Zhu Jing.
Looks like there's a bit of tension in her release hand when she's letting go. Nine low.
Noch konsequenter.
Elena seems to have settled down and found the middle fairly comfortably, a nice 9.5 there.
Zhu Jing has been in this spot before. She won the silver medal at Belek at the World Championships last fall in Turkey.
To Maya Jaeger, I believe, from Denmark.
Yes.
That was an exciting match with the shoot-off involved and all of that. Another good solid shot. Both of them are low. It looks like she's starting to group. She had that 10 low there. It looks like she's starting to form a group low in the lower half of the gold. And it looks like that's going to be enough. Oh dear, that looked terrible.
Oh yeah, you could tell by the expression on her face as soon as she released it.
So it's a 5 to win this set for Elena. This is a great free arrow.
Chance to take the lead in the match.
Nice shot. Had to work a little bit, but got it in the 8 ring. That's enough for the 2 points.
So in very workmanlike fashion, Elena Richter has worked herself not only back into this match, but into the lead.
For sure, and that's part of the fun of set play. This could turn around right now, and Zhu Jing could shoot a great set next set, and away we go.
So the crowd a little bit anxious right here now in Shanghai as
looks like she's still having fun though.
she's having fun. I think the crowd a little bit on the edge of the seat.
You got to keep the athlete loose. You got to keep the athlete smiling. If they get too much inside and too much saying, what the heck is going on with my shooting, you're never going to dig out of that hole. And it's not a hole. They're both back at 0. Right, so it's, yes, you're down 2 set points, but it's not a cumulative total. She has a great opportunity to just throw down a great 10 here and immediately put the pressure back onto Elena. I don't like the tension in her string end.
Something has gone dreadfully wrong for Zhu Jing.
If you watch when she's done her release, her string fingers in the last few shots have been dead straight. I'm not sure if that's normal for her. I doubt it. It's a pretty unusual way. See how curved and soft those fingers are, and that's a nice 10.
Elena Richter.
Wow, see, that really sends a message. So if we watch these string fingers, if they're relaxed and soft off the string, a little bit of tension, a little bit better though. That one was a better executed shot.
Zhu Jing trying to fight back.
She's in a bad way though.
Yeah, she's in a tough spot right now at the mercy of Elena Richter.
Who just needs 2 normal shots to win this. There's an 8, that's good enough. Because 8s will win this. 2 8s gets her a 26, and the best Zhu Jing can do is 25. So
if she shoots a 10 right here, and that's not close to the 10 ring.
So it's a 7 to win, 6 to win. And that should be, to be a little glib about it, Elena should be able to pull this off with her eyes closed.
After dropping the first set, falling behind 2 to nothing,
nice
she wins the next 3 sets and finishes with flair and style. And boy, is she happy. Thrilled with her performance and thrilled with the gold medal. What a comeback for Elena Richter, who lost that first set, then won the next 3 and wins by the final score of 6 to 2.
I was a little surprised by that opening set from Elena. I guess she just needed that to calm the nerves and find the middle.
Get it out of her system.
For sure. And then she just said, okay, I know how to do this. I've done this before. Here we go.
So stoic during the match. It's great to see that release and the emotion and the happiness on the face of Elena Richter, who has won her first World Cup medal. And she didn't win just a medal, she won a gold medal.
She won the gold medal in the individual event. That's about as good as it gets for the first time. There's her German teammates. Very proud, taking pictures. Hopefully they'll share with Elena, so she'll have some mementos.
I think she'll have a lot of memories from stage 1 in Shanghai in 2014. Elena Richter.
She's going to get a Longines watch, I guess, and a gold medal. She'll have some mementos for sure.
Oh, yes. So congratulations to Elena Richter, the gold medalist, Zhu Jing, the silver medalist, and Aida Roman, the bronze medalist in women's individual competition here at stage 1. So the ladies step aside, and now it is the gentlemen who will take center stage here. There you see the quarterfinal matches, the semifinals, and how we have arrived at this point with the bronze and gold medal matches coming up for the guys.
I
So
really hope these matches live up to what they should be.
Well, the advanced billing has been, yeah, we've been looking forward to these matches. They've been some surprises, I think, this afternoon. Some have gone true to form, and some have been a little bit surprising. But here's two very tough, very worthy competitors, and no pun intended. Taylor Worth of Australia coming out to compete for the bronze medal. Taylor representing Australia. This past week, he beat Luis Alvarez 6-2, then lost in 3 sets to the Frenchman Pierre Plion, who we shall see momentarily. Good look at Taylor Worth. The Aussie, who almost picked up a medal this morning, and, well, actually did pick up a medal in team competition, excuse me.
Yep, they got the silver.
They got the silver. He was on the silver medal team for Australia. And here's Rick van der Ven, who picked up a bronze medal in team competition as the Netherlands defeated Ukraine 6-2. But two of the best young archers in the business.
It'll be interesting to see if there's any advantage gained by Rick winning the bronze and Taylor losing to gain the silver. Both of them have field information. This should be an absolutely tight-ness match. I believe Rick van der Ven won the Indoor World Cup this year.
Actually, that was Ryan Tyack.
No, that
oh,
was
I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the World Championships, yes.
Taylor Worth represents the last of the top 8 of the gentlemen from the ranking round. He's ranked 6th coming into this.
So Rick van der Ten in the center ring to start off the match, and Taylor in the 8 ring.
Taylor almost didn't make it. His plane touched down, I believe, at 6:35 the morning of the ranking round.
And it's a long way from the airport to Yuanshen Stadium.
But he was the first one at the stadium. They picked up his luggage and went straight to the stadium. He'd forgotten that...
Must have been going against the traffic,
yes.
The rush hour traffic.
He'd forgotten that Good Friday was a holiday in Australia when he went to pick up his Chinese visa.
Aha.
It was a good 10, so he's done spectacularly well for having flown for probably close to 11 hours before jumping onto a field, ranking 6th, and then being very, very consistent through the matches. This is a great match so far from Rick as well, though.
Taylor with a chance to tie it up, needs another 10.
He's a very calm competitor. Ooh, there's a 10.
Very close, but it looks like he caught the line.
He was looking for where that arrow landed before he'd finished shooting it. His eyes had flicked down to those television monitors in front of them. He's a solid competitor. He's been in this sort of level of competition several times before.
Ranked 18th in the world, finished 2nd at the Australian Open recently. His streak of wins against Brady Ellison ending in Nîmes during the bronze medal match at the Indoor World Championships. But he has been a factor on the world scene these last few years. Finished 7th in Belek last fall at the World Championships and was 9th in London at the Olympics. So they do give the 2 set points to Rick van der Ven.
Are they really? High score. It is a split set.
Oh, they did split it. All right. There's the official announcement.
Had to listen to the announcer for that.
So that last shot by Taylor Worth on the line counted as a 10.
Which means we stay at the original shooting order. Rick is leading out with those trademark bow fingers pointing straight towards the ground. Works very, very well for him. Good X.
Got it working all right. Rick van der Ven.
Wind's picking up slightly. Keeping these these guys on their toes.
10.
Nice
Very
10.
good. Tyler. Excellent.
Shaping up as one of the best matches we've seen all day.
Again, a lot of mouth movement. We noticed that in the Japanese woman, Kato. He just settles in and his mouth is nice and relaxed. His whole face is nice and relaxed. For a 9.
5.
All even, 19 apiece.
Can't see it very clearly because he's left-handed, but you can see Rick's mouth slightly working.
And there you see those fingers you were talking about pointed down.
A little bit of work to get it through the clicker.
Oh, but it works.
Well, and the important thing there was it never tracked forward. The arrow was just stopping, a little bit of jittery, but it was always coming back.
Now there's pressure on Taylor Worth, as if there wasn't pressure enough.
Dear me. That's not going to do it.
A little shaky, and it's a 9, and so that set definitely goes to Rick van der Ven of the Netherlands.
9 was a good score for that shot.
So you must be
There
triggered here.
was
Because
a lot of issues. He was starting to really tremble under the clicker.
How many pounds these guys pulling back?
Likely nearly 50. Don't know exactly.
But somewhere in that ballpark?
Should be about that. That's what most of the top shooters these days are drawing. Some are as high as 57-ish. I think there are a few closer to 46. But on average, from what I hear around the tables, it's about 50 pounds.
So these guys getting a workout, no question about that.
An average training day would be about 7.5 tons.
What do you shoot, 200, 300 arrows a
About
day?
300 arrows a day.
Try doing this about 300 times a day. That'll build up those back and shoulder muscles.
Indeed, if you do it right. Oh dear.
Tyler, 5.
He's slowly been drifting out to the right. Needs to catch that. Figure out what's going on. Ooh, a lot of wobble in the bow there. Still got a 10 out of it.
It's a bottom line business.
Doesn't matter how you put them there as long as
That's
they end
right.
up there.
As long as they get there. So again, the pressure applied to Taylor Worth. Comes back with a better shot, but
Amy, I'll trigger your side.
He's still in trouble in this set. He's going to need some help from Rick. And I don't think he's going to get it. Rick is too practiced a competitor. Also, look at that group. Was that 5 or 6 arrows out to just out to the right? If he'd just drop his sight a tiny little bit, those would all be 10s. A little bit down, a little bit right. Rick is very much out shooting Taylor right now. And that's the set almost guaranteed.
things coming undone for Taylor Worth. As Rick van der Ven.
Oh dear, that didn't look great. That's good enough.
It's good enough for the man who defeated Brady Ellison in a 5-set match this week here in China, then took the 5th and deciding set, 28-27, before losing the 5th set to Kikuchi Hideki of Japan, whom we'll see in a moment in the gold medal match. But Rick van der Ven has been tough. He is tested. He's come through the wars. A guy who has held all 4 European titles at one time or another, the outdoor and the indoor individual and team champion titles. Arguably the top male recurve archer in Europe right now.
I'd buy that.
And one of the top in the world.
Having won the Indoor World Cup, represented him quite handily in several major events. He's absolutely one of the top shooters on the planet. He's got the stealth shots there. They're a bit of an interesting new technology.
Very good,
So
Tyler.
Taylor
worked for him.
Worth trying to fight back.
Nice.
There's a good 10, yes.
If Taylor Worth can win these next 2 sets, then we go to a shoot-off.
And we all know that I love watching a shoot-off.
Rick van der Ven doing his best to make sure that doesn't happen, though.
Keep shooting 10s, there will be no shoot-off. Taylor cannot afford to split. Taylor needs to win these sets. There's
Very
a good
good
10.
job.
There we are.
Sensational shooting for Taylor Worth.
Put it on the line for Taylor and he'll respond.
So van der Ven, who beat Im Dong-hyun of South Korea in London at the Olympics
Oh dear.
with his first errant shot of the match.
Yeah, he struggled on that one, you can see it.
So the advantage on the side of Taylor Worth, who needs this set.
It's an 8. Ooh, he's
Ooh,
left the door open.
Yep,
Rick needs a 10.
10 wins it.
10 wins the game, yep.
10 splits the set, gives van der Ven the 1 point he needs. Can he get it?
No.
No, outside in the 9 ring.
And we carry on.
Not a game of inches, no. It's much closer than that.
And much farther.
Yes.
It's millimeters from meters.
So Taylor Worth survives, wins the set, and makes it a 5-3 match in favor of Rick van der Ven, but he's still alive.
Yep.
And still smiling. He says, what, me worry?
He and Alfred E. Newman.
Yes. I'm glad somebody gets the references. That's good. 5-3 your score, Rick van der Ven, who came very close to winning an Olympic bronze medal, lost to Dai Zhao Zhang in a shoot-off in London. But one of the best in the business.
Okay, so Taylor just needs to have more of what he had at the beginning of the last set. And still it's a need-to-win scenario. Nice calm shot. 9 a bit low. Let's see what Rick does with this opportunity. You can see his mouth. I'm not sure what he's doing. I don't know if it's conscious. A lot of activity there.
Again, Taylor Worth cannot afford to split.
No, we can't.
Cannot afford to
Needs to win
split.
this outright. He needs
Trading
10s.
blows with Rick van der Ven will not get the job done. Another 9, which is a good shot.
It's a good shot, but every time he shoots a 9, it
Creates an opportunity for van der Ven.
it just makes it a little bit easier for Rick. He's not looking terribly happy with his shots just right now.
10 right here for Taylor Worth, puts the pressure on van der Ven.
This is pretty much a must 10.
Got it.
There it is.
Got it. Comes through in the
That's
clutch.
a terrific shot under pressure. So now he's forced Rick. Again, 10 to win.
Anything less and we're going
There
to a
it
shoot
is.
off, but
Rick
forget the
gets it.
shoot off.
Holy
There's
cow.
your shoot off right there.
That's a fantastic, yep, that's a good end.
Boy, that is a big, big shot by Rick van der Ven. Big smile on his face. And a smile on the face of Taylor Worth as well, who really competed well, competed hard, and made Rick van der Ven earn that victory.
Yes, he did. Yes, that was a good final set. That was a great match to watch. It was exciting. It was close. 6-4 in favor of Rick at the end. That was a great match.
So a bronze medal for Rick van der Ven of the Netherlands to go along with the bronze medal that he and his teammates captured this morning here in Shanghai. So a pair of victories, pair of medals in the pocket of Rick van der Ven, and a lot of respect to Taylor Worth, who fell behind in that match 5-1, really battled back strong.
For sure he did. That's good shooting. You always expect good shooting from those guys. I kind of expected that to be a dogfight. I think the real dogfight is coming up. This gold medal match, I hope it's going to be the dogfight it should be.
Well, a little bit of an unknown, and we'll get into that in just a moment. But once again, here in this bronze medal match, it is Rick van der Ven picking up the bronze medal. A year ago, it was Tabata Shungo of Japan defeating Mohammad Khairul Anwar of Malaysia 6-4. But today the bronze goes to the man from the Netherlands. As we reset, get set for the men's gold medal match now. And it will be Japan against France for the gold medal. And representing France, Pierre Plion. who is the unknown that I was talking about, Pierre Plion, in his first World Cup competition, comes to China, works his way through the field. He's unranked in the world rankings or the World Cup rankings. And this is his first time on this stage.
He looks pleased to be there.
Yep. You know what? He actually does look pretty loose, all things considered. Interesting story behind him. He was on the organizing committee for the Indoor World Championships in Nîmes, and in fact has helped with that tournament for several years. Finally entered, competed in this tournament, and he's going for the gold medal. His first time out at a World Cup event, but easier said than done. Kikuchi Hideki stands in his way, the Japanese archer, who scored a 6-4 win over Crispin Duenas, then kept rolling with a 7-3 win over Rick van der Ven. That gets your attention, the fact that he could knock off van der Ven. On the other hand, Pierre Plion had a 5-set 6-4 win against Juan Rene Serrano, and he swept Taylor Worth in 3 sets.
It's interesting that Kikuchi, I was going to say, it was interesting that he was standing off the line. He was allowed to be up on the line there.
So Plion puts it in the 8 ring with his first shot of this gold medal match.
Not to take anything away from Plion, but Taylor did not shoot his best match in that match against Plion. But both of these two, having looked at their scores through the week, neither of them has been perfect, but both of them have competed all the way through every match. It looks like Kikuchi,
nice shot for Pierre.
So Kikuchi took 3 matches to a 7-point victory, shot 1-2 in a shoot-off. Plion had 2 matches in a 7-point victory and shot 1 shoot-off. Each of them has shot a 10 as a shoot-off arrow on their way through here. They shot long matches. Most of them were 5-set matches. They're in it for the long game. They're just going to keep on shooting until the last arrow is needed. So this could be a lot of back and forth. These are 2 great archers. From what I've heard,
They
is that a
split.
set? Yes.
Yep, they'll split that set.
There we go.
26 points apiece.
From what I've heard, Kikuchi has done a heck of a lot of work, and he's coming back and coming back strong. My suspicion is that he's just not 100% consistent in what he's built into a very, very good shot yet. His ranking was 33rd, but he's either shooting these 26s, which you saw there, or he has the capability to dump down a 30 or something like that at a moment's notice. So he's either hot or cold right now, and 26 isn't terribly cold, but it's not good enough really to be winning, to be in the gold medal match at this level.
Kikuchi already with a gold medal today in men's team competition as his squad blanked Australia 6-0 earlier today. Big day for the Japanese teams as they won men's gold and women's bronze. And now Kikuchi trying to go for the gold.
Sorry, keep talking over you there.
That's all right.
So Plion has a very, very similar record through the match play here to Kikuchi, and just competing all the way through, shooting great shots into tie breaks. Nice 10.
Looks like he's been here before. Doesn't seem like he's nervous.
Oh, I think he's a little nervous. You can see that big breath there.
Okay.
So the battle for the gold continues. These 2 archers tied at 1 apiece after the first set. Chance now for Kikuchi to tie this set up.
Oh, that looked not great.
And now a chance for Plion to put this set away.
A 9 will lock it up. Oh dear, that's 5. Well, that makes things interesting.
Perhaps a little bit too interesting for Pierre's liking, but Opportunity now for Kikuchi, and he takes advantage and takes the set and takes the lead.
Another 26 manages to get the set win there. I think Kikuchi will be breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief. He got away with that.
Kikuchi has had success here in Shanghai before, won a mixed team silver medal 2 years ago, and then took a team silver medal home from Shanghai in 2010. As we said before, Pierre Plion, this is his first appearance on the world stage. Comes to Shanghai, works his way through the field, and gets into the gold medal match. His first time out. It's been kind of interesting. Yesterday in the men's compound, 2 French archers going at it, Sébastien Peynaud and Pierre-Julien Deloche. So France taking the gold and the silver in the men's compound competition, and now they have a chance for gold right here.
The French have had a very, very solid tournament, for sure. They always have a good crew of archers whenever they arrive. They can be competitive at any level.
And it's a team that lost a very good archer, Gail Prévost, who decided to give up shooting this past winter.
That's true. Bit of a wild shot there.
Lyon not all that pleased with that first shot here of the third set. So Kikuchi Hideki, 28 years old, ranked 110th in the world. His rankings will rise
for certain
with his performance here.
If we get that camera angle again as Kikuchi's coming into full draw.
On the line, just caught that line.
If we get that forward camera angle, I think you'll be able to see, if you watch his eyes carefully, just as he's coming into full anchor, I believe what he's doing is he's looking at his clicker, he's watching his point come into his clicker.
It's working right now for Kikuchi and Plion.
10-9-8, that's not bad shooting. It certainly leaves it open for a victory for Kikuchi.
And there it is. He goes up 5-1 in the match. Takes the set, leads it 5-1, and is 3 shots away conceivably from the gold medal.
A little bit of a breath of relief. It'll be interesting to see. Here's where the scrappiness comes in. I hope we're going to see a good set from Plion, at least in the next set. There's the Japanese team cheering on their archer.
You know, it really is amazing to me, Hugh. Hugh McDonald, by the way, Canadian compound archer, joining yours truly, Carl Arche, here on Archery.tv. So much work goes into this. You shoot 203 arrows a day. You come to faraway places like Shanghai. You go through the qualifying, the eliminations, and then these matches go so fast. They're over in a blink of an eye.
They're over even more quickly when you're up there on that stage.
Oh, I'm sure.
And if I may be so bold, I am in fact a recurve archer.
Oh, excuse me. No, you may be bold.
So that's the French coach.
Beautiful shot.
Calling for a 10 because he knew he needed it. Odds are he was saying that there were 10 seconds left in his allotted time. That didn't look like a terrific shot.
Leon with the advantage now.
Each archer will have discussed with their coach, hopefully, what they need in terms of time calling and that sort of idea, so that the coach knows when to call out, how many more seconds are left. So the archer knows what time they're working with, that sort of idea.
Nice shot.
Ooh, good. Nicely done.
All right, the ball is firmly in Kikuchi's court. Leon needs a 10 to make this interesting. Anything else, and I think it's probably...
Oh, boy.
I think that's probably
He's in a tough spot right now. And he knows it. And Kikuchi shooting for the gold medal, and it's
good enough.
His. That's an 8, and 8 is enough for Kikuchi Hideki of Japan, and it caps off a big, big day here for Japan. The Japanese team picking up a lot of hardware, and Kikuchi Hideki taking home a lot of it all by himself. A team gold medal for Kikuchi Hideki, and now an individual gold medal as well. So obviously one of the shining stars here of stage one.
That was one of his shortest matches, probably one of his easiest matches in terms of score. I bet the heartbeat was not, you know, if we were to ask him whether that was an easy match, I bet he wouldn't say that it was. But in terms of scores shot and in terms of length, it was his shortest match, or one of his shortest matches.
But look at the
He's very
sigh of
pleased.
relief.
Yep.
Finally can exhale just a little bit, yeah.
And Pierre here has to be very, very pleased with himself. It's not fun. It's never fun to not win. But a silver medal in your first go round, he's got to be pleased with himself. There's a lot of good things. I bet he did a lot of very, very good learning.
Had to have. I mean, this is such an unknown.
I hope we see him around.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got to think that he's going to come away from this, yeah, a little bit disappointed by perhaps the score and maybe his performance in this gold medal match. But the fact that he made it to this point, hopefully he'll come away from Shanghai and look at the overall experience and go, hey, this is a lot of fun. Let's keep going.
I agree. He had a 10 in each of the sets. He only had one really bad shot, which was that 5. The 8s I'll put down to a little bit of nerves. And just with exposure, with getting used to this, those 8s will become 9s. And he'll relax a little even more, and those 9s will become 10s.
So the crowd filing out here on the River Boulevard after a long weekend, but a great weekend. On the first stage of the Archery World Cup Tour, stage 1 is in the books. Some of the fans sticking around as we get set for the presentation of the medals to the mixed team winners and the individual medalists as well.
Yeah, that was great shooting. I am not disappointed in the matches we got to see there. Those were fantastic.
Good to see the weather clearing up this afternoon, so it was a little bit more of wind. Yesterday was the rain, today the wind, the story, and the big story, though, the performance by the Japanese team here today in recurve competition.
A headwind is the least favorite of all of the winds from archers. It does make it the trickiest.
Then if you toss in a crosswind, that makes things even more interesting.
A crosswind is generally preferred unless it's gusty, because you know what it's going to do. With a headwind, if it catches your vanes just properly, it can send them pretty much in any direction. And even in the best case scenario, because you're shooting into more air, it's the equivalent of shooting a little bit more distance. So your group naturally opens up a little bit. You need to have that much more of a precise shot to get it right in the middle. So all of these competitors who have got medals today and who came out and shot such great shots today, they did it under a headwind, which is not a lot of fun. It's not a big headwind, but it's enough to make it interesting, and they put on a good performance under the conditions. Nice flat light, great for shooting. We saw some good results.
So the presentation of the medals for mixed team competition coming up here as the teams slowly file out. They're not built for speed necessarily.
Well, they can walk quicker than that. They were following, they had leaders.
Yes, they did.
They had pace setters.
Some of the pomp and circumstance, I suppose, as the ships continue to sail by on the Huangpu River. And the Vice President of the Chinese Archery Association on hand to hand out the medals to those fortunate enough to win a medal in mixed team competition.
That's a podium full of talent. And archers I hope we'll see around for a while.
Mackenzie Brown, honestly, the youngest and least experienced, and she's going to be able to get up on top of that podium and get a gold medal with Brady Ellison.
That's some of the best experience you can get right there.
Naomi Folkard and Larry Gottfried from Great Britain. Bronze medalists winning their match 5-1 over Chinese Taipei. Took them only 3 sets to get the job done.
Very good, solid shooting. Good win. That's a medal that'll go on their walls of fame.
Big hug from Larry. The silver medalist from Mexico, Aida Roman and Juan Rene Serrano.
Up 2 spots from last year, and I'm willing to bet that they're looking to go up 1 more spot next year.
2014 has been a good year so far for Aida Roman.
Yeah, and it's only just begun.
It has just begun. Started strong in France and Nîmes. She won the Indoor World Championship there. Teams up here with Juan Rene to win a silver medal. But this weekend, everybody takes a back seat to Brady Ellison and Mackenzie Brown.
That's the view that everybody wants from the top of the podium.
And Mackenzie Brown shooting every bit as strong a match as Brady Ellison.
Yep, that was a great match. It was well shot. A deserved win.
So Brady Ellison, who performed well in Phoenix, the Arizona Cup.
Really, in a team event, they should hand out the same number of plaques as there are team members. Who gets to keep that now?
They can share it. It's like that Stanley Cup. With the drone flying overhead, capturing the moment from the aerial shot. Brady Ellison and Mackenzie Brown get to hear the national anthem of the United States as they win the gold medal in mixed team competition. Once again, Mexico the silver and Great Britain the bronze.
The podium selfie again.
There we go, another selfie, yeah.
Serrano released one of those on Twitter and Facebook after the Arizona Cup as well. So I guess that's going to be a thing this year.
And Chef Vandenberg took one earlier in the day.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
All right.
And he had to get 9 archers into the shot. So hopefully we'll see that. There's a good look at that GoPro. I guess that's a GoPro that's up there. And
that's the 6-bladed chopper. I don't know what the technical term for that is. Quad and a half copter.
Providing some of the great shots that we'll be seeing from Shanghai. Our next stop, by the way, on the tour will be Medellin, Colombia. That'll be later on in May. Then in June, it's on to Antalya, Turkey, Konyaaltı Beach. Then after a month to kind of regroup and everybody to recharge their batteries, we'll be back at it with stage 4 in Wrocław, Poland, all leading up to the World Cup final in Lausanne, Switzerland in September. Now the Australian team, from what I understand, this will be the only stage that they compete at. So Taylor Worth hoping that he can post enough points here to at least give himself a shot
at making the final. That's what I've heard as well. Different countries have slightly different regulations. I don't know if Archery Australia wouldn't let them out of the country. There are some countries who won't let their archers go unless it's a funded event. I don't know if Archery Australia is that way or if the archers just can't afford it or what the story is.
And I think that's something that's worth mentioning, because this is a sport to a degree, maybe a large degree, where the athletes actually have to pay to play.
In several countries, yes, there's definitely an aspect of the archers who want to go to the events, pay their way to go to the events. There is a national selection criteria usually, but often it comes just down to who wants to go and who's got the money. And that's good and bad, I think. I like the idea that there are athletes who are here because they're just passionate about the sport, as opposed to professionals who are getting paid and may not have that same love, that same drive. It's one of the things that I really, really like about this sport, that there are athletes passionate enough that they will make the effort to pay their own way to come to this so that they can get better, so they can start winning medals and just succeed. I love that aspect of this sport. And there are other countries for whom it's very, very closed, and the National Federation has tight control over which teams are allowed to go where, who they'll allow to spend money or not. Because at the World Cup level, and in fact at the world ranking level, all registrations have to go through the National Federation. The National Federation does, at the end of the day, have control over who can go and who cannot. So it's a decision within each country how that's decided, how that's worked out. And I'm not sure what Australia is doing in particular in reference to what we were just talking about. But it is, there are pros and cons to both sides of that.
Yep. Aida Roman back out on the podium. Wasn't she here just a moment ago?
Just a moment ago.
I thought I saw her before.
You've seen that smile somewhere.
It's been a good day for Aida.
Yep.
She is one of the big stories of the day. Aida Roman. Taking home a mixed team silver medal to go along with the individual bronze medal. Zhu Jing of China, the silver medalist here in her home country.
Almost looked a little surprised at the size of the check she just got.
And the gold medalist, of course, from Germany, Elena Richter. Elena, her first World Cup medal, and it turns out to be gold.
She's very happy about it. I like to see that, just that joy, stepping up on the podium there.
As it should be. A lot of hard work that went into that. And it pays off for Elena Richter. Elena, 24 years old, ranked 31st in the world. She did win the field championships in 2012 in Val d'Isere, and here in China, she takes top honors. Elena Richter with the victory celebration and calling for her competitors to join her atop the victory stand for that Kodak moment, as we used to say.
And this is something that you want to share, for sure.
What a great scene here on the Huangpu River. The ships, the boats sailing by. An idyllic setting, to say the very least. World Archery finding these wonderful locations to stage these great competitions, and Elena Richter not only has her first World Cup medal, she's got a gold medal. A year ago, it was Yuno Ki defeating Deepika Kumari. Neither of those ladies on hand today. So Elena Richter taking the spotlight, taking full advantage of that as she wins the gold medal.
In this fantastic tourist town of Shanghai.
Isn't it? You guys went touring yesterday, I understand.
did.
You and Crispin and the rest of your Canadian pals.
Yep, we went up and saw the Jade Buddha Temple, then came back down and went to the Yuyuan Garden and the Yuyuan Shopping City area. I think I'm pronouncing that somewhere approximately close. And interestingly enough, I think I've been here 4 or 5 different times, and every time we've gone and see a couple of things.
There's more to see.
I found there's a whole bunch more stuff I want to go see. I have to come back next year.
Fascinating city. 20 million people.
And the buildings, if you're into architecture at all,
Stunning.
fantastic. There's a twisty building that's going up right now, right beside the building we call the bottle opener building with the...
That's my favorite building, along with the Oriental Pearl Tower.
That's gorgeous as well, yep.
But so much creativity. Of course, this is the financial capital of the Far East. And of course, across the river, the skyline of the Bund, the Art Deco district, buildings that were built back in the around 1890, 1910, 1920.
All
A
right.
lot of great history on the other side of the river as well. If you've not been over there, Hugh, I recommend that.
I haven't done the walk, no.
Ah, you have not,
No. So I might do that. I'm looking at the Nanjing walk
Yes,
into People's Square.
I recommend it.
So I've got a couple of ideas for next year.
Looking ahead already.
Yeah, but next year, unfortunately, I plan on being on top of that podium over there.
Yes,
So
instead of sitting next to me.
it might eat into my tourist time.
So now the ceremony for the gentlemen in the individual competition.
Medals were represented by Miss Yang Yang, IOC member.
国际奥委会委员杨洋女士，为我们颁发奖金支票的是。
Next, represented by
Yesterday in the compound competition, it was Bridger Deaton winning the bronze medal. And Sebastian Peynaud surprised Pierre-Julien Deloche, defeating his fellow Frenchman 147 to 146 to win the gold medal there. Deloche settling for the silver. In men's individual recurve competition, it is Rick van der Ven winning the bronze medal. So Rick from the Netherlands capping off a big week. A week that saw him defeat Brady Ellison along the way to this bronze medal.
Yeah, that's a pair of bronze medals for him to add to the team round.
And really one of the best matches I thought we saw today. Rick and Taylor Worth going at it.
That was exciting. That was really good. Taylor made a good game of it.
So van der Ven, the bronze medal. Pierre Plion of France.
Looking pleased to be on the silver medal podium. Good for him.
His first time out. Pressure's off now.
Yep.
He can relax,
Look at that
enjoy
smile.
it.
Oh. That's fantastic. Another person who looks really, really pleased to have won a medal.
And of course, the happiest of them all has got to be this man, Kikuchi Hideki of Japan, who has an outstanding day for himself. A gold medal in the men's team competition. And now a gold medal of his own in the individual competition as he won convincingly over Pierre Plion by the count of 7-1. And takes home the check for 2,000 Swiss francs.
ladies and gentlemen.
Now we
Somehow
get
I think, though, that medal is more important to him than the check.
Very certainly, yes. And now we get to hear the Japanese national anthem.
A golden moment for Kikuchi Hideki of Japan.
One round of applause for our athletes.
Everybody's up for that photo moment. That Nikon, Canon, who knows what kind of moment anymore.
No, could be just a selfie moment. I think that'll be sufficient for these three. Pierre Plion, the silver medalist, Rick van der Ven, the bronze medalist, and Kikuchi Hideki putting his name in the history books as he takes home a pair of gold medals from Shanghai.
Some good World Cup ranking points.
Some excellent ranking points.
Some years a single victory is enough to make the World Cup final. So
I was just about to say, yeah.
He may have put his stamp on that. He may already be looking at plane tickets.
Exactly. He may have punched his ticket for Lausanne, but there's a long way to go between now and then. 3 more stages and a lot of arrows to be shot to determine who will finally get into that field for the World Cup final. It's the top 7, and then the nation that hosts has, I believe, the 8th.
I think that's
Archer.
correct, yes.
A little bit of a wild card there, so competition will be fierce the rest of the summer, I'm sure.
It's in Denmark, the final this year?
No, it is. Denmark will be next year. In fact, they just announced that the 2015 World Cup finals will be held on the grounds of the Christiansborg Palace in the heart of Copenhagen. That'll be in 2015, and in fact, that will be the first opportunity for individual archers and teams to qualify for the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio. So that should make things interesting.
Not the World Championships?
Apparently not.
Interesting.
At least the knowledge that I have, or the information that I have, is that it's the first opportunity to qualify for Rio.
All right. I was not aware of that. Maybe they've changed the Olympic qualifying system. Normally, the first opportunity is World Championships.
We will check into it.
Apparently, I
I'll
don't
get back
know.
to you in May.
Sounds good.
In Medellin. And now here we have the Longines Prize for Precision. This is something that's a little bit new, and Longines has added a stage prize. Of course, they do this throughout the season, and at the end of the year, the recurve archer, who has the most 10s.
Actually, I think it's slightly different this year. I think so. At this stage, recurve women, or Aida Roman in particular, will win the stage precision prize.
Right.
Then in Medellin, it might be compound women. In Turkey, I believe it'll be compound men, and then in Roslav, or it might be Antalya, it might be recurve men. Doesn't really matter. I think one category will get a precision prize per stage.
So they share the wealth.
Yes, as opposed to in previous years, there's been a Longines precision prize where it was cumulative for the entire year, and it was one bow category, so recurve or compound per year. Now it's one person per category, but each category only gets an opportunity at one particular World Cup stage.
And it goes to the archer who shoots the most 10s. And in fact, here in Shanghai, amongst the recurve women, it was Aida Roman who shot the most 10s throughout the entire week of competition.
Which is no surprise at all. She absolutely dominated the ranking round. She came out strong in the match play, stumbled a little bit getting into the bronze, but then won that solidly.
So let's see, she gets the watch, she gets the bronze medal in individual competition, and then she also gets the silver medal
in
the mixed team.
Yep, mixed team.
That's quite a haul for Aida Roman.
She did good.
Yes, she did. She will have something to declare as she leaves the country and goes back into Mexico.
Indeed.
You know, they asked me, do I have anything to declare? And no, not really. But Aida Roman
will have to pay tax.
Yes, she will have plenty to declare as she goes back home to Mexico after a great week here in Shanghai. I would say she and Kikuchi Hideki and the Japanese team overall, the big stories this weekend. Or at least today in recurve competition.
Yeah, it's been great to watch, great to see. A lot of good shooting, and this is just the start. There's lots of people who are just warming up, just getting into outdoors. It's going to get good.
Still making the transition. So let's recap what transpired here today in the earlier portion of the schedule today. In the team competition, China takes the women's gold, Colombia the silver, Japan the bronze. In men's team competition, Japan takes the gold medal, Australia the silver, and the Netherlands the bronze medal. Then in mixed team competition, the bronze medal goes to Great Britain, the silver to Mexico, and the gold medal to the USA. And then in individual competition on the women's side, it is Elena Richter winning the gold medal. Zhu Jing takes the silver, Aida Roman the bronze. And in men's competition, Kikuchi Hideki, Pierre Plion, and Rick Vanderven all medaling. Well, it's been a great week here in Shanghai. My thanks to Hugh McDonald for joining us. We'll see you in Medellin next month.
Awards were represented by Mr. Yang Zhenqi, Deputy Director General of the Shooting and Archery Administrative Center of General Administration of Sports of China.
国家体育总局射击运动管理中心副主任杨占奇先生，获得本次赛事荣誉奖牌的单位是
The 5 organizations are
上海市射箭协会、
Shanghai Archery Association,
上海市浦东新区体育总会、
Pudong New Era Sports Federation,
上海市浦东新区陆家嘴社区街道办事处、
the Office of Ujia Community of Pudong New Area,
上海市浦东新区原生体育发展中心、
Yuanshan Sports Development Center of Pudong New Area,
上海富都新世界发展有限公司、
Shanghai Fortune World Development Committee.
女士们、先生们，让我们再一次向协办单位表示最热烈的祝贺，把掌声献给他们。
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause to our organizations.
感谢他们为本次比赛的大力支持与协助，谢谢你们。
Thank you everyone for coming today. Goodbye and see you next year.
亲爱的观众朋友们，美好的时光总是如此的短暂，让我们之间留下这美好的回忆。亲爱的朋友们，我们明年再相会。
My team is working.